Hello everyone, and welcome to my dreamflow take on the Order 1886. It's been a long time coming, and I think it's finally time I get around to this video. This take will discuss my overall thoughts about the length, gameplay, and the story, along with some other interesting ramblings I might have. This game's length has been discussed greatly, and it's been a controversial point for many, including gamers and journalists. It's very sad to know that a developer would release a $60 game, which was $70 here in Canada, at this price for about 6 hours of gameplay. This is about the length of a Call of Duty campaign, but what you must remember here is that a Call of Duty campaign is nothing. Call of Duty is bought for its multiplayer, which features unlimited amount of hours and gameplay. You can just get into a match, play it for 10, 20, 100, 1000 hours. There's no length. It doesn't end. It's a multiplayer experience. This game does not have any of this. You jump into the Order 1886, directly you get loaded by Sony Computer Entertainment presents Ready at Dawn, the Order 1886. You get prompted in the menu to choose new game, and you start playing. That's it. That's the game. There's no multiplayer, there's no co-op, nothing. So, you get into this experience, this is what they call it, an experience, and you find yourself into a game which lasts about 5 to 6 hours, including cutscenes, which are about 1 hour and a half to about 2 hours and a half. So that's a lot of time. So you cut basically a third of the game just in cutscenes. So what you find is just yourself watching a movie. And I'd be fine. Paying $70 for a movie, that's not great. I don't buy movies at $70. And I don't think anyone would really. It's a bit of a silly notion that a game would try to be a movie. If I want to watch a movie, I can just go to the cinema. I can go to my local shop and buy a Blu-ray or DVD. I can just go rent one at my local renting store, or I can order one online, and there you go. I'm gonna watch a movie. A game, however, I'm going to buy a game, and from a game I want an interactive experience. I want to play and feel the game. I don't just want to sit there and watch it. I want to experience it. This is what a game is, an experience, an interactive experience. What the Order 1886 offers is not so much a game, as yes, there is gameplay, but it is very minimal and very generic, but I'll touch more on that in the next section of the video. The length is just, it is a short game, and the developers said, does length really matter? Yes, it does. If I was to just make this video a 5 minutes show saying, well, the game sucks, bye. It wouldn't be even 5 minutes, it would be like 2 seconds, like, well, the game sucks, bye. There we go. You would say, well, you didn't review that properly, did you? And you would be correct. A 6-hour game is, I would say it's okay if you charge the correct price. Now, recently, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes was released on PC, which you pay about $40 for a 4-hour experience. I'm not saying this is better, but the game knows what it is. This was a demo, a prologue to the full game that would be released soon. This game knew what it was, just a demo, a prologue. The Order 1886 is just that. It's a prologue. I will tell you more about this in the story part of the video. But the Order doesn't know what it is. It thinks it's a full game, but it's not. And this is what impacts the game greatly. I believe that if the developer would have priced this game at about $20 or $30 and just said, look, it's a short game, it's just a little bit of a story, an intro to another game perhaps, and just play it and have fun. I will give it that. It is a beautiful, beautiful game. The graphics are phenomenal, and they are perhaps one of the best things I've seen yet in games. I would love to see this game running on my PC. I have a phenomenal PC, and running this game on my PC would be incredible. I want to see what they can achieve with even more power in their hardware. The PS4 is limited, PCs are not. So it would be great to have this game on PC unlocked, frame rate just uncapped, 1080p full without the black bars. Just see what the game can do. Just max those settings and just look at how beautiful it truly is. Now on to the gameplay of the Order 1886. Well, you have gameplay, that is true. For about 3 to 4 hours in the game, you have gameplay. What kind of gameplay is it? Well, here I'm going to refer to Mass Effect. Think of Mass Effect in a simplified way. You just have a gun, you don't have any powers. It's your generic third-person shooter. It's a simplified version of Mass Effect. The Mass Effect combat is very fun. I will never say otherwise. I love the Mass Effect franchise. But they offer more diversity in the combat. Now here, what do you get? You get a few weapons. You have the arc gun, which is interesting. You have the termite rifle, which is one of my favorite weapons. You basically shoot some termite and ignite it with your other gun. That's with the secondary fire. That's pretty interesting. Yes. Otherwise, you have a generic rifle, a generic SMG, generic shotgun, generic pistols. That's basically everything you have. And the enemies have the same thing. The same weapons. Your generic rifle, your generic pistol, generic SMG. They all have the same thing. There's no diversity in the enemy. You will find rebels, 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 rebels. And near the end of the game, some rebels are going to have armor, which will make them quite the pain to deal with. The shotgunners with armor are just horrible. Trust me, they are. You can shoot entire clips in them, and they won't die. This is an horrible, horrible little thing. Aside from this, the other different type of enemy you'll encounter are these Lycans, these off-breeds. They are probably the most stupid AIs I've encountered. You expect them to be like Underworld, where they're just very smart or aggressive, they jump everywhere. No, they just jump at you, you press X, you dodge them, and you shoot at them while they go away. And then they're going to stop their position, run to you, you shoot them while they go to you. You press X, dodge them, and you shoot at them again. And you repeat the process until they die. And when they die, you walk up to them and you kill them. Well, we finish them. That's the Lycans. This was a pretty boring experience. There's nothing that really shines in this game in terms of gameplay. It's just borrowed from every other third-person shooter you can see. It's just get to cover, shoot enemies, advance, repeat. That's it. It is very, very unfortunate that they would just copy those games and just don't have their unique twist or anything. Aside from this, you'll have QTEs, which are quick time events. There are plenty of these, which most of the time are not necessary. They're mostly there just to say, are you still paying attention? Are you there watching my cutscene? Yeah, you're there? Okay, if you're there, press that. Otherwise, you're going to fail. So basically just attention check. You just, you there? You there? Yeah, okay. It's very sad. Some of these are annoying, some of these make sense, but they overdo it terribly. Very, very terribly. And honestly, the game could have most likely be much better without these, or without at least half of these. And which is funny enough, they have a strategy guide for this game, which I have taken a look at. I have not purchased it. I went to my local EB Games and I just took the guide and, you know, crossed the pages like, oh, what's in there, huh? Oh, and I was laughing in the store. The clerk's like, what the hell is this guy doing? I was laughing at the book because it's like, well, when this happens, press this button. There you go. There's no strategy involved. You just follow the instructions on screen. Somebody on Twitter was actually stuck in the game. Can you believe that? This game is the most linear experience you can imagine. You follow the path set by the game. There's no branching path. You just go left or right. No. You go straight ahead. That's it. This game was in development for about 5 years. They could have easily made branching path. They could have easily made a Mass Effect, but they did not. I suppose most of that time was spent making the game look pretty, being in high candy, optimizing so it actually runs on very, very bad hardware that the PS4 has, and making it, a showpiece. It's a launch title, basically, that was delayed heavily. It should have been released near the launch or with the launch, but it's been, what, a year now? And it just, hey, we're coming out here. Yeah, guys, we're coming out now. Launch title. No. No, unfortunately, this would have been, at launch I would say, yeah, okay, it's an okay game. Because the launch titles for the PS4 were quite horrible. But now, it has still horrible titles, but it's starting to diversify a bit, I guess. But we can't always get what we want, can we? Unfortunately. Finally, the boss fights. You have about 2 boss fights in this game, and the first one you encounter about 2 hours or 3 hours into the game, something like that, in an hospital where you fight an elder Lycan. So, okay, it's a very QTE EV fight. You just stand there, look, press the button, press the button, press the button. But what is very perturbing with this is that the end boss, which I will not show because I don't want to spoil the story for anyone who might be interested in buying the game, is the same type of fight. You fight it in the same way with the same QTEs. I don't know if this is lazy or if it's just sheer incompetence or maybe a bit of both. It's extremely sad to see that you pay 60 or 70 bucks for a game and you find yourself with this. It's just, why am I fighting the same guy twice? They're not the same guy. Was it similar? Why? You had 5 years to develop this game. You had 5 years to make those fights unique, and you did not. This is very, very sad and perturbing to gaming in general. I would really like to see... I would have liked to see diversity, something happening, anything else, just something fun, but no, it was the same QTEs. That was very disappointing. Very, very, very disappointing. Finally, let's move on to the story. Now, the story is probably the best factor in this game. The story is interesting. You start a game and the characters are compelling. They have very, very good voice acting. And you want to discover more and learn more about the universe. It tells you a little bit about this universe, but not too much. Just enough that you'd want a sequel. And all along the game, it guides you along this path where it says, oh, there's this, that's interesting, wow, I want to know more. And at the end, it just drops the ball completely. It's like, well, we could have spent more time developing a longer story, but you know what? We're gonna make a sequel. This game wasn't even released, and they knew they would make a sequel. Or at least they really hoped they would. With the scores that it got from critiques and the overall mass, I don't know how to say it, the overmass, I don't know, hate that it has from the hardcore gamers, I don't know if it's going to get a sequel, and I don't know if we're ever going to find out exactly what the ending is. Which is unfortunate because it leaves so many loose thread opens. And it's almost a crime. You don't have any ending to any stories whatsoever. And this leaves you in like, what? What is this? What's happening? What? So yeah, this is very unfortunate. The world, very interesting, and the story is kind of gripping, you get into it, but when you get near the end, it just drops the ball completely, and you're like, what the hell have I been doing this for? Silence. Yes. That was my reaction. Silence. It's very unfortunate that they would just go all out and make this compelling world and just don't finish anything. That's my only thought. They didn't finish it. They did not offer a full story. It's just a slice. And I'm afraid that if they make a sequel, they're just going to give us another slice, because they could make a third game, another game that they could charge $60 for and just make it 6 hours long. Because people have bought this game in mass, which is unfortunate. I bought it simply because I wanted to inform the customer of what it was and what it did. I did not buy it because I wanted to. I mean, did I enjoy my time with it? Yes, but not in the way that, you know, I'm gonna play a very good game and then say, that's amazing, I love this. Now I'm just like, yeah, it was good. You know, I had fun, but not that much fun. And the story, well, it's okay, I guess. If you would have put this in a movie, however, if you'd give me a movie with this, I would have said, that's pretty awesome. That's actually very, very great, very fun. I want more. But presented in the format that it is, a video game, do I want more? No, I don't think so. I think I'd want a movie. Make a movie, even if it's just a cinematic movie, just put all your cutscenes together and make a movie. And just say, well, we don't really have the competence to make another game, so we're going to give you this movie, and it's going to be the end of our story. I think this would be very nice and a fitting way to just end the story, end the plot, tie the loose ends, and call it a day for Radio Dawn. I really believe that it would be best for them to do this, instead of doing really anything else. Well, everyone, this was the end of this Dreamflow's take. I hope you appreciated the show. I sure did. It's been a long time coming. I'm sorry for the delays, but I hope that you find this video satisfactory, and I believe I made some efforts, and I tried to make this video of the highest quality that I could, which I always try for every single one of my videos. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, and people, guys, girls, take care, because I'll see you next time.